Hi guys, in the previous video I talked about classification of infection agent from the smallest one, which is prion till virus. Today in this video I want to talk about another group of infection agent which are called the bacteria. The basic thing about bacteria you should be know: bacteria is prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell. What does it mean by prokaryotic cell? It means does not have a true nucleus. If suppose that this is a bacteria cell, bacteria have a so simple genetic material. It means composed of only one chromosome, which is circular structure like that, and does not have a nuclear membrane. So this genetic material which does not have a nuclear membrane called nucleoid. And bacteria have a cell wall, which is so important to bacteria to be survive. And the cell wall of bacteria composed of peptidoglycan. What does it mean by peptidoglycan? Glycan mean rows of sugar like that, and crossing linked by peptide chain like that. And we know that prokaryotic cell does not have a so important organelle like endoplasmic reticular, Golgi apparatus, and don't have a membrane around organelle. And another thing about bacteria you should be know: bacteria reproduct by binary fission. And unicellular organism. What does it mean by unicellular? Unicellular mean composed of only one cell. And this thing you should be know about bacteria: not all of bacteria harmful. It actually a lot of bacteria harmless bacteria. For example, bacteria so important to produce food like yogurt, and bacteria can act as a decomposer. And bacteria, all this organism in the earth is a bacteria. So bacteria so important. And sometimes some species of bacteria as well as harmful, like Yersinia pestis, which is a causative agent to black death. For example, we have a black death, which million of people death because of this disease. And we have a Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and so many species of bacteria cause disease. And because of this toxin which present it in a cell of a bacteria, like endotoxin, when our macrophage digested, it goes to release this toxin and cause some abnormality in our health. And some bacteria produce toxin and release it, so as well as by this way can cause disease. I think that's all about bacteria. Let's go to another group of infection agents which are called fungi. Fungi, eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell. So when someone asks you what's the example of prokaryotic cell, you immediately say bacteria, because of bacteria only example of prokaryotic cell. Except bacteria, another living organism, all of them eukaryotic cell. So when someone asks you fungi, which types of cell, you immediately say eukaryotic, or protozoa or helminths, and animal and plant, and all of them eukaryotic cell. We have two types of fungi, mold, yeast. What does it mean by yeast? Yeast is a unicellular organism composed of only one cell and reproduced by budding. Like we have some species of which is yeast, like candida, with a causative agent to thrush disease, and we have a cryptococcus. Sorry, cryptococcus was a causative agent to meningitis. So that's so important. Some yeast can cause disease. Besides of that, not all of fungi harmful. Some of them, like a bacteria, can act as a decomposer, and we use it as a food, like a mushroom. So not every time is when we say that fungi causative agent, it does not mean every fungi species can cause disease. And about mold, long filament of cell called hypha and reproduced by mitosis. And we have a example like aspergillus. Like aspergillus. And that's all about fungi. Let's go to the another group, which called protozoa. The basic thing, the eukaryotic cell, and secondly, motile. What does it mean by motile? It means have a capacity to move. And we have a example of this species like a plasmodium, which is a causative agent to malaria, which so many people death because of malaria disease. I'm sure all of you so familiar to malaria disease, which so many people death. It causes by protozoa, plasmodium species. And we have another thing like giardia, which cause watery diarrhea. And that's all about protozoa. Let's go to the helminthes. Helminthes is a parasitic worm. We know that some worm which live in for example, we have some worm live in eyes, live in intestine, cause to some abnormality in our health. This is called helminth parasitic worm. You know that worm is a complex organism, multicellular, and another group of infection agent which I want to write down here, called ectoparasites. Ectoparasites. What does it mean by ectoparasites? Parasites that live on the exterior of its host, like an insect. And we have some disease which caused, for example, by lice. So we know that some complex organism, multicellular, like animal, and we put it as an animal. So some animals as well as can cause disease. So that's all about classification of infection agent, from the smallest one till some complex like ectoparasitis. I know that in this video I cannot I'm not talking about each of them very detailedly, but the purpose of this video to get a simple idea what's a infection agent and get simple information about each of them. I hope so you get it. So if you get benefit from this video, please like it and subscribe our channel to more people see it. Thank you.